But recently we've seen disturbing reports of large gatherings where people are letting down their guard, not wearing face coverings, not socially distancing, and giving the virus the opening that it relentlessly seeks to spread. Unfortunately, these gatherings are resulting in new COVID case clusters and ramping up the spread of the virus. As I said before, our daily data report's been showing a slight increase in COVID cases. These lapses in judgment, these missed opportunities to keep the door that we all work so hard to close shut, are contributing to a slight but important rise in positive cases here in Massachusetts. Some of the cluster incidents that are being investigated by the Department of Public Health include a large lifeguard party in Falmouth, a house party in Chatham, an unauthorized football camp in South Weymouth, a high school graduation party held in Chelmsford, and a large house party in Rentham. Just yesterday, we heard about a 90-person prom party that was held in Cohasset that's now being investigated also as a possible cluster. These gatherings were planned by both adults and young people and demonstrate an at times unwillingness to accept the fact that this virus is extremely contagious and in many cases invisible as it spreads. We've said many times before that a significant portion of the population that gets infected by COVID will not show symptoms. But they can and often do pass the virus on to others who do get very sick and in some cases die. Anecdotal evidence in Massachusetts makes clear that this has happened a lot over the course of the past 4 months. Another gathering that was in the news this week was at Bay State Health Systems, where people got lax about wearing coverings in the break rooms. Now they're dealing with dozens of cases. There was also a party on a private boat in Boston Harbor that's currently also under investigation as a cluster by the Department of Public Health. After battling COVID for months, our healthcare experts know that transmission is more likely in very large groups, where people aren't wearing face coverings or socially distancing. This behavior dramatically increases the likelihood of COVID-19 infecting other people, and this virus can, and in many cases does, take off like wildfire. The situations I just recapped are a recipe for disaster and need to stop if we want to continue to reopen and get back to a new normal in everybody's lives here in Massachusetts. Things are definitely different because of the virus, but there's a responsible way to gather with loved ones and to celebrate important milestones. People need to do their part to protect their families, their friends, their neighbors, and their communities. If you're having an event outside or inside and can't social distance, wear a face covering. The evidence on this is clear. Face coverings stop the spread. Don't share food or drinks, and use common sense. Our current guidance limits indoor gatherings to no more than 25 people. It took us a long time in Massachusetts to get to the point where folks could plan small gatherings to celebrate birthdays, graduations, weddings, and other special events. To visit loved ones in senior care facilities was shut down for almost 4 months. As I said before, I didn't see my dad for over 100 days. But if we continue to see a rise in new cases and changes in our public health data, we'll have to consider a number of options, including reducing the gathering size back down to a smaller number.